Take me home, I wanna know if you're down, ready to go. Wanna fly away with you, float away, fly away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Roadshow podcast. My name is Jacob Rhodes. Tonight I am joined by a very, very, very talented person. Has been presiding in Perth for how long now?
About 3 years.
3 years
now, yeah.
3 years. And you've come to overtake a lot of the music industry here so far, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what we're hoping for.
Well, you're doing it in some serious ways, man. Like the stuff that I just heard was impeccable.
My
and
God.
like if that's the trajectory of where you're taking this is something else.
That's the start. Thank you, bro. It means the most.
Ladies and gentlemen, GHO Mac 400.
Let's do it. How we good? Thank you for having me, bro.
Bro, no, it's my pleasure to have you here, man.
I feel honored to be here. It's cool.
Welcome to the Roadshow.
Cool little spot.
Yeah.
Fuck with it.
It's been a little bit of a hectic time recently. I've had a bunch of podcasts that I've been doing.
Yeah.
We had NAIDOC week last week, and Fallon Gregory, the model, she came on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's
Real.
awesome girl. And yeah, she has like linked up with like Zero from Hustle and Grind and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Have you done much publicity in Perth?
Not much. Hey,
No?
I've kind of only come onto the scene within the last 2 years, and like it's been pretty fresh. In terms of like releasing music, even I haven't released in for a year and a half, I think it is now.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, so I've dropped on SoundCloud, but like that stuff's just like kind of just stuff that I put on there just for in the moment.
Yeah.
Publicity stuff, not really, bro. It's just because I haven't really had that much of an opportunity like with music being released.
Mm-hmm.
I've done little things here and there with like radio stuff and like shoots and little things like that, but nothing like major, like anything like that.
Well, it's bound to happen with what I've heard.
Soon, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you, bro.
What was the last track you dropped?
Last track was Run.
And how was that received?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, it was one of my more, I kind of like went more down like the vocal range sort of route.
Yeah,
so I was singing a little bit more.
Yeah.
With a pretty heavy like trap beat. Immortal produced it. Do you know the guys Immortal?
No,
from
I
Perth?
don't. No.
Duo, hard beats.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the first beats I bought when I started rapping. I was just like buying type beats, and then I found these guys from Perth. I was like, these guys are dope.
Nice.
And just like had a stock up, and then I got that one off. But yeah, it's good. It's probably my favorite song, in terms of like my own journey, sort of putting it into a song properly for the first time, rather than kind of just like raps and this and that, just kind of.
So where did the story come from? Like,
it was pretty much just like I was going through a pretty like dark space. It was kind of like, it's the reason why I haven't dropped music in so long. I was kind of just going through a hella like dark period. I couldn't write. I was just like hella writer's block. I was just struggling to find, I think, myself, but also just like the purpose on like what I want to do with music, or like if music was really what I wanted to do. Because before that I was playing sports.
What did you play?
I was playing football.
Soccer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had to say the right thing on this, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, I was playing soccer or football, however. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So what made you switch from sports to music? Did you always have like an inkling for it? I never did, like not one. Like Is that right?
yeah, ever since I was young, it was just like, as soon as like my first word was ball, like I was just like soccer.
Yeah.
It was just soccer. And yeah, my dad and my mum are both hella like into music. Like my dad still makes music and plays now.
Yeah, right.
And then mum's just always been sort of in that music sort of scene. She's loved music. She's like been in management and like all that sort of stuff. But I was just always so into soccer that I never really gave that music like any time of day. And then when soccer didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, one of my best mates, DZ 400, as many of the people listening will know.
Okay. Shout out DZ.
Shout out DZ. Massive shout out to DZ. He was rapping when I got back to Australia.
Right.
So I was kind of just around it, and then I kind of got bit by the bug, and it's ever since then it was just like, nah, like this is for me. Like I've never felt so to where I am now. Maybe not so much at the start when I was doing the songs like Run and stuff like that, but now it's just like I'm put on this earth to do this.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Did you have like that? There was like a one moment kind of thing that stood out to you. Was it the first time you actually got in and you tried it, or was it like something hit you? Because like you say that you stopped ball first, right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of came about. Was there a period of time in between that made you go, oh, I need to do something? Or was it like that, like, you know, you're a product of your surroundings kind of thing?
I think it was more so the product of my surroundings, mixed in with like my family being super musical and stuff like that. I think that kind of just got brought to the surface.
Yes.
And like, I think going from playing like soccer the way I was playing, or at the level, it was kind of just like I was out of that world now. So it was just like I kind of felt, oh, like I've always been known as Banjo or whatever, like the soccer kid or blah blah blah. And that just all got, I was just like, I just fell out of love with it. I just wasn't into it anymore. And yeah, I think, and then I'd made a couple of like muck around songs when I'd come back from overseas, and Deezy was just starting recording. I did like a couple of songs in like a shed. It was like terrible like recording area. It was just like Deezy was just learning how to like even record, let alone mix and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So I'd recorded a few songs like that, went back overseas. So I'd always kind of just like mucked around with it. And then when I got back, yeah, I don't know. It just like, I made a song one time, and I was like, do you think I should rap? And Deezy was like, yeah. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And yeah, that's all to Deezy. Praise to Deezy for being that first sort of believer. Yeah. And just that first sort of green light, because one wrong bit of advice from the right person can fuck you up.
Right.
So
that's too true.
Yeah. Yeah. I needed that one little bit of green light, and yeah, run to the hills.
So you've mentioned a couple of times now that you came back from overseas. What's that about? You were
so I moved to Spain when I was 16 to play football.
Wait, so what level of football were you playing at?
So I semi-professional. I wasn't playing men's professional. I guess underneath that, yeah. I guess professional, but as a young kid, a 16-year-old, as professional you can get at that age, I guess. Yeah. Okay,
and from Spain, how long did you live there?
I was in Spain for a year with my mum and dad and my little brother, and then I moved to England for 2 years, and they moved back to Australia.
And you stayed?
I stayed in England for 2 years, yeah, by myself, yeah.
Right. So what were you doing there?
I was playing soccer there.
Oh, you weren't partying and stuff?
Nah, bro. Nah, I wasn't. I mean, I had occasional nights, you know, but it was very like the complete opposite to a rap lifestyle.
Is that right?
Yeah. I was just like full tunnel vision, eating right, like all that sort of stuff, which is...
That's one thing that you don't really think about, is like how encompassing like a lifestyle of like playing sports.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do it professionally.
Yeah, massively.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you have anyone else in your family that was like doing that prior as well?
Nah, I mean, all my siblings are pretty like athletic. We're all playing sports since a very young age, but like my sister she played like AFL. She was playing that, but like it was not at that, I mean, like none of us had moved overseas or was doing anything like that before. No, I was the first one of the family.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously pretty exciting for your parents.
Yeah. And like, it just like, they're so cool. Like, bro, my parents are fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, just like the coolest people. The fact that they got up and were happy and like ready to move everything to Spain. Like I hadn't signed any deals or anything. I was going for a trial. So we moved everything. We packed up our jobs, house, everything, and moved to Spain on the chance of me getting a contract.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the fact that, yeah, it's a massive, like, it just shows what type of people they are and how much they support their kids.
So have they supported you now that you're in the music industry?
Massively.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That must be good.
Mum's like in the mosh pit jumping around.
Hey,
Yeah, there's
fuck
pictures of
yeah,
like
Mum.
there's like pictures of mum like jumping with the homies. There's like in all the videos of my last show, you can just see like mum at the front, dad's like recording in the back. They love it, bro. It's so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents never leave the couch. So
Yeah. they're just so like they're always moving around. Like
Yeah.
right now they're in a bus traveling around the Northern Territory. Like you just can't keep them still. They're just little hippies that just
that's awesome.
play music and do whatever. They just do life the way they want it. They
Yeah.
want to, and that's what I want to do.
They're
And that-
experiencing it.
Yeah, they don't. It's not like it doesn't have to be so structured. You know, they can just go and do whatever they want, and
That's
and
the rain, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen.
that's insane.
It's good, eh?
It's heavy out here. It's raining outside for the ones who know.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of like a lot of the dreams of like. Where did your parents grow up? Were they East Coast kids?
Mum was born here.
In Perth?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So she was born in the same address I live in right now.
Literally same house.
Yeah, same house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then dad was born in Western Sydney.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And how did they come together? Were they traveling or?
Dad was over here being a muso, doing music stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And mum was doing the music scene. She was in the scene. She was like going around with bands. She was just kind of like managing bands, promoting bands, doing all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And they just kind of met, just became friends, and then yeah.
That's dope.
And they moved. They met. They moved to like a little farm north of Sydney, or like inlands of Byron Bay more so.
Oh, cool.
And that's where they had like raised us.
Have you done any living over there?
Yeah,
In Byron Bay?
Yeah. So I grew up until I was about 12 there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I'm going back at the end of this year. It's just like
It's a
that's
dream, right?
the whole album that I'm writing, Blue Hills, is pretty much just like a whole time capsule of the feelings and emotions and like mentality of that the people have from over there, because it's so different. Like that's one thing I picked up even going there a couple of years ago. The way of life and the way of thinking and like the values is so different to just even here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love
it's
it.
a
there.
lot more laid back.
Yeah.
I feel like just the general societal empathy is higher. Like you care
Yeah.
more about the people that are
Yeah,
there. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
And they care about like the little things. Like it's like one of my homies just moved over here and like he's just rocking like he's just got a Nokia.
Yeah, I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that when I first met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Dead Set Jet. He just moved over here from that way, and it's just like that's not like
Oh, his level of sarcasm, by the way, is uncanny to anyone
yeah.
I've ever met in my life.
it's good.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's very good.
if you don't know him, it's kind of like, is this guy a prick
Fucking-
or
yeah.
what? But nah, he's all love. He's like
Yeah.
the most kindest fucking. He hasn't got a bad thing to say about anyone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Shout out Dead Set Jet.
Yeah, shout out Jet.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people that I've talked to recently that come from a background of struggle, right? When you're put into like, did you find like growing up with like really, really supportive people, like people as family, like
Yeah.
your parents? Did you find that there was less struggle or more struggle within like let's not say like a hippie lifestyle, but
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I think it was just in a different way. Like they were always super supportive. And they always have been. But I think there was struggle in terms of we didn't always have like heaps of money and stuff like that. Like we got that later on. But like when I was like junior years, from like since I was born until I was about 13 or 12, like we were living pretty like it wasn't bad. Like we were comfortable, but like it was only because we had like young kids and like we didn't really know, like we were in the middle of nowhere. We were running a non-for-profit organization on a farm, like out there, like for like deforestation and stuff like that.
Wow.
So that we were running that for 10 years, mum and dad just off their own backs. So like we weren't bringing in heaps of money, but it was just like it made us like really just like it showed, being raised that way showed me like the things that matter. And I think that's why I can write a full album about that time period of my life, is because those memories, even though they weren't, you know, I wasn't like in the most amazing house and the most blah blah blah, I wasn't like going to a normal school. It was just like it's different, but like it showed me how much they cared about just being with the family.
Yeah.
And like that's super important to me now. I think I realize that now more so than when I was there or when I was younger growing up. Yeah.
Nice. Did you have regular schooling though? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you go to a school? Or
I
were
went
you
to like a,
homeschooled?
I went to a we were homeschooled on the road a little bit when we
That's
left.
cool.
Yeah, because we went on, like, Dad toured, so we
Oh wow.
we
Okay.
packed up, we sold the land, and Dad went on tour. But before that, I was going to like a Steiner school. So I don't. Are you
No.
aware with? It's kind of like,
Is that like one of those schools that's like it's very hands on, you know,
Yeah.
like a lot more like
It's-
farming and all that kind of stuff?
It's
Yeah,
very
right.
like kind of focused into like
applicable.
ethical and applicable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's the word.
Yeah,
Applicable.
yeah. I'm not
You're
going
on
to
the
attempt it. Yeah, just like more, and like kind of like people skills, and just like learn, like like I didn't do a maths test until I was like year 4.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's
like,
cool.
And like, instead of learning maths and stuff, we would learn about like ancient Rome and like how to paint this stuff and how to knit and like plants and animals and like in the garden and stuff like that. So it was there was only about 40 kids in the whole school, and it was just, I hated it when I was there, but now I look back and I understand like what it taught me.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I was just like, I just want to go to a normal school. Like, what the hell? Like, I just want to go to a private school, like a
Always
any
rebelling.
school, you know? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, mum and dad, again, they were on some shit they knew what.
Well, it kind of seems like these days, though, the standard curriculum for like children growing up in 2020,
Yeah,
like there's so much diversity and like variables in life in 2020. Like you could be a fucking internet billionaire from Bitcoin. You could be like anything, right?
yeah,
And we're all brought up under the same fucking regimented,
yeah,
learn this amount of knowledge that we give you. We're going to test you on this eventually. How much can you retain?
yeah,
But life isn't like that. Life
Yeah.
isn't about how much knowledge you can retain. It's how applied
that
you
is-
can be with the knowledge.
yeah,
Like,
facts,
And
so true.
there's so much to learning something with your hands
Yeah,
and in an ethical way, like whether it be planting, you know, trees or something like
yeah.
that, or even knitting, like being able to sit there and like do something that doesn't seem like it, like you do 1 or 2 stitches,
yeah,
it's fucking nothing, but eventually it's a sweater, eventually
Exactly.
it's a blanket, eventually, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I think with like today's like educational system, we could probably really take a fucking leaf out of that book.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Massively.
saying?
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I went through that, because I felt sometimes even just eventually we moved up north to Karratha, where we ended up from the tour. We stopped there, and that's where we ended up. And like going to it was the first time I had went to like a normal school, and I was just like felt so out of depth. And like,
Did you go to the high school?
I went to a primary school there,
Yeah.
and then I went to 2 primary schools, and then I went to the high school. Yeah,
So the one that's in Bainton,
that's the primary school.
that's the primary school?
Yeah,
Right.
you got a few primary schools. Yeah, and then you got Karratha High, and then you got St Luke's, which is like the Catholic one.
Yeah, St. Luke's is the one that I used to live next to.
Oh, you live up there?
Yeah, I
Dope.
lived up there.
What do you think? Small town. Small town.
Oh, I've got a couple of crazy stories from up
Yeah.
there, man.
Yeah. Did you
Like-
visit Evo's? Evo's?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Evolutions.
Oh yeah.
Bro. So I remember specifically this one night. I have a story. Okay?
Yeah. Let me hear it.
So me and the guys that I used to play in a metal band with, I was the vocalist.
Yeah.
We all fucking got on the piss at my place for some reason, because like my parents worked late, so this is kind of just what we did. And we all planned on going to Evo's, right?
Yeah.
And we had one guy that was with us, and he had just turned 18, but he didn't have his driver's license. Like he didn't have his proof of age.
Rookie
Mistake.
mistake.
But either way, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So we planned on going to the Mermaid Tavern first.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we went to the Mermaid Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get let in, and so it was like, okay. And then he gets a phone call, and like he decides that he's going to go to this house party to the
Yeah.
person that was on the phone. So me and the guitarist Brandon, shout out Brandon,
Shout out.
he was like, should we go to Evo's? And I
Yeah.
was like, fuck. okay, let's go to Evo's then, you know? So we said to Connor that we would meet him, we'd call him and come pick him up eventually. So we proceed to leave Mermaid Hotel. We ordered, like, me and Brandon went inside, we ordered one beer, we sculled the fucking thing, we left.
Yeah.
And they had skimpies on that night, and I was like, fuck, because, like, you know, Karratha at that time was a dry town.
Yeah,
like, it was like
yeah.
one
Recyclable.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a good word.
Yes. There was one woman to every 10 men.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was peak of the mining, like, situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we decided to go to Evo's. We went to Evo's. We were partying like crazy. I get blackout fucking drunk, like crazy drunk. I decided that I'm not going to drive my car and go pick up Connor.
Good idea.
Good move.
Yeah.
Brandon ends up taking some fucking, like, this woman was, I'm not going to like say anything negative about her.
Yeah.
But she was, like, I could have swore it was a dude. Like, but he didn't talk about that ever again. But
yeah.
I decided to walk home, and mind you, I lived in Bainton, so think about how long that walk is, right?
It's a long, yeah.
Do you know the Caltex? That's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I passed through there because I was like, fuck, man, I wanted a cheese, bacon, and chicken schnitzel. I was just fucking wanted one. You know, I was drunk as shit.
After Evo's.
Yeah, after Evo's, long ass walk, and Connor, his favorite food from that Caltex was the same shit. So I rocked up there, and what's this motherfucker doing? He's sitting on top of the gas cage at the front, eating one of these fucking things. And it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. So just randomly I bumped into him. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, what do you think? And I was like, okay, well,
best food in town.
Yeah,
Caltex.
literally, bro. And so we decided to go back to my place, and we ended up started jamming, and the next door neighbors called the cops on us for being too loud.
Sure.
It was a really crazy story when you think about how, like, spread out Karratha is, and we all just
everyone just
met up.
Yeah, you do. Like, I swear, there's so many things like that. Like, you'll just be expecting to not see anyone you know, but realistically, like, the town is fucking
so small.
Yeah, it's like you're so naive to even think, oh no one's gonna be there. It's like, what?
Yeah,
everyone's gonna be there. Like,
oh man. And yeah, if you drink and you get into a fight with someone or have an altercation, the chances of you seeing them at the shop tomorrow morning,
so high. Yeah, at the same Caltex again.
Yeah, at the same Caltex again.
Yeah.
So when did you move back from Karratha?
So moved to Karratha when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So we did, like, toured on the road for a year. So we bought a bus, did it up, and then sold the properties and stuff over there. Traveled, because Dad just had released, like, an album a couple of years before that, and it went to number 1 on Amazon. It went number 1 on Amazon. It was like beating Michael Jackson's Thriller for, like, top sales for, like, a couple of hours.
What?
Yeah, it was insane. Mum held, like, onto, like, the business sort of marketing shit. She just held, like, they marketed really well, knew lots of different people and stuff, and yeah, just got, like, it sold really well. And then Amazon shut us down because it was an independent thing, obviously no sponsorships, no paid, and then they shut us down. But we were able to tour from that because we were able to just say Amazon number 1. So we use that as a marketing. So we traveled around Australia touring, just a little, like, pubs and shit, like, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But just enough to get us to each town and, like, look after us and stuff like that.
That's killer. Who's your dad?
His name's Johnny Mac. Hence Ghost Mac.
Hence Ghost Mac.
Yeah.
Is it Johnny Mac 400?
I wish. Maybe one day.
That'd be cool.
We'll get him back in the game one day.
Yeah, for
Get
sure.
him into the rap scene.
So what kind of music did he play?
He's, like, just, like, a little punk rock, but then also, like, a lot of, like, Aussie blues. Plays a lot of instruments, sings.
So his live performance would he sing and play guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
He, like, sing, play guitar. He had, like, harmonica and didge and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's killer.
Yeah.
I find that the didgeridoo is it's a whirlwind of an instrument. Can you play it?
I can't. I can hold it for as long as I can hold my breath.
Is that right?
And I can't do the
in nose, out mouth thing.
No, he's tried to teach me before, but I think I was too young and didn't care enough. So now I'll try again, and hopefully I can.
Yeah. Well, they say that like it's not so much it's like a flowing thing. It's like a breathing in, holding in your mouth, and then using the pressure of your cheeks. I think.
I was just trying to do it for a second. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a hard thing. It's massive respect to anyone that can do that, as well as like play guitar, all of those sort of things. Like I'm learning guitar now. It's just like,
how are you finding it?
Hard.
Yeah,
so hard.
So you,
I just load a sample into Ableton instead.
It's the perfect way, man. You know, we have these little workarounds as producers these days.
Oh
right?
yeah, hacks.
Hacks.
Cheat. But I want to be able to do a song that I like recorded and everything from. Like I want to get to a point where I just like Coachella, sitting on a stool playing a guitar, and just singing.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
Like, I feel like that's like, because that's what I saw as a young kid, like my dad doing that. That's what I've got envisioned as like an artist. Obviously now that's not just one form of artist. You've got rappers and everything but that's something that I want to do, just because I think ever since I was young, I had that like vision of that's what a musician does. You know what I mean? So like I kind of want to do that as well, just to be able to do that, and just I feel like it gives you a lot of range.
For sure. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
So going off of your upcoming album,
yes,
what is the what's the trend? What's the idea behind this? Is it from like, so lay it out. So did it come from obviously the story from when you were younger? Yeah. But does it come from a place of like, this is how I want to be represented like now in your life? Pretty much, yeah.
It's kind of like my whole life up until now summed up, but it's just like it's a mentality. Like it's definitely, there's a lot of things in there that's my way of thinking and how I want to be remembered. There's a lot of stuff that's on there that's, you don't hear it in modern day rap and hip hop these days. Like you do hear it, but you know, I kind of want to just put my little spin on it. And like being from that part of the world and growing up the way I did with the Steiner school and like on the farm and stuff like that, like I wanted to put my spin on hip hop and do my thing. And now I'm super confident in the message that I'm putting across with the album, because it's different, but it also still fits into what's hip, you know? Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's just a whole lot of emotions and like my life's journey really up until now, going through the bad and the good, and the kind of what inspired it the most was just like me kind of just, when I was going through that rough phase, like I just didn't know why I stopped making music. And I just like one day I was just like thinking, and I was just like, why am I not trying, but like why am I just going into the narrative of just doing this type beat and this type beat and this sort of song and like this sort of sound and like rapping like that, when like that's not me, and I come from such a different, unique part of the universe and world that no one's ever seen. Why don't I just rap about that and be me? And it sort of like clicked, like not that I wasn't ever trying to not be me, but it just sort of like an epiphany, and I was just like, oh, I know what I got to do now. And then ever since that, it's kind of just relayed like this mentality of like what I want to do now. And I'm still doing sort of things that sound similar to what might be on what you hear on the radio, but at least you can still hear where it's coming from and like the place it's coming from, and it's still that banjo. It's still coming from banjo. Yeah. Yeah.
There's like that's the new stuff that you showed me. Fire, bro.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Freak to begin with.
Yeah.
So, how did you even come up? Like, tell me your process of like how you rhyme melodies. Do you just do it on the spot?
Yeah. Or? Usually, I'll pull up a beat, and I'll just freestyle for like usually like a couple of tracks. Like I'll like make a couple of tracks and I'll just like freestyle like 3 different takes, and then in one of those 3, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 1, like something will be in there that I like, and then that's pretty much how Freak came about. Like I just came up with that melody, I think it was the second one. Yeah, it was a second take, and I just recorded for 3 minutes straight, and then I think it was a second hook. I jumped out with that, and then I just have to kind of, usually it words itself. There's some things I have to change. Most things I'll have to chop and change and like make fit, but like you've got that structure of how you want it to sound and where you want it to end and how you want it to go, and then I just record like that.
Right.
Which is why usually I was saying to you before, like I record on my own, just because like sometimes it'll be fire and you'll record it straight up, but like if you got someone in the studio and you're sitting there for like 17 takes trying to like freestyle and it's just sounding like trash, because I'm not saying anything, I'm just trying to find the right melody and the flow. So like you don't want them listening to just straight like nothing for 17 takes, you know. If it comes off in the first one or two, it looks cool, but like not always, you know. I've been rapping 2 years, it's not always going to come out like that.
Yeah. So how do you go about writing, like, because were you always like doing the singing part?
No.
Or is that new?
That, I mean, I think always I've always liked singing.
Yeah.
But definitely early on in my tracks, I didn't have that. I kind of just like popped out when I made the Run track.
Yeah, okay.
And people were like, holy fuck, like giving me good response about it. Like, oh, we really like that. Or the melodies was like tight on that. That kind of gave me like the range to be like, oh, maybe. And then ever since then, it's just kind of progressed and I've got better and better. But I want to start taking singing lessons and stuff, because
yeah, you've
like,
got a voice for it, man.
Thanks, bro. I was listening your episode with Adam, and he was saying like he'd been doing, and he can sing. He can, like,
he can real sing.
Like when you were talking about all the falsettos and stuff, like I know the top layer of that. Once you got a little bit deeper in that conversation, I was out, because like everything, yeah, it's just like I just do it by ear. Yeah. So I want to try and push myself to learn that properly, because yeah, if I can better myself than what I am now, like why would I not, you know? But yeah, the melodies just sort of, it just kind of, I love melodies. Like I've always been influenced, like some of my biggest, like with Drake and like Kanye and stuff like that. Always so, like a lot of their songs are hard raps, but like it's so melody driven. Even going back to like 50 Cent and stuff, like hard raps. Yeah. But like so much melody, like melodies are off chart. So like I've always kind of liked that sound. I just had to find it for me.
Yeah, that's what I found with the Freak track. It has almost like the feel of a, like we spoke about before, the feel of like a 90s kind of R&B vibe. Yeah. But with layers of like Sean Paul, yeah, Kid Laroi, Post Malone.
Is that Freak or is that like that?
No, I felt that in Freak too.
Freak? Oh,
I think you've got that the huskiness perfect. Yeah. To the melody, which is very hard to pull off, because like most people can pull off the melody and then it all sounds like Justin Bieber. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like the way that you just like made it ride as well, like it's very full. It's a very full sound. I can't wait for the people to hear it.
Yeah, no, thank you, bro. It's gonna appreciate that so much. I can't wait either.
Those three tracks, the first three that you told me to listen to. Yeah. So what were they? They were Freak, like that. Like That is fucking phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a good track.
I can't wait for that.
What do you got planned?
So much. I got we had Dinge, me, Deezy, and Dinge all in the mixing session. Wee. So shout out Dinge.
Shout out Dinge.
Yeah. We were just pretty much just like it was like a 3-hour session, and we were mixing the whole time. Ooh. And we were just like going back and forth with different ideas. We just shot the video for it with Just Play. The video's sick.
I can't wait.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen shots of it, and it's gonna look so sick. And then I've got help from like a couple of people in the 6K, just like helping me push it and stuff, and just like trying to get it to as many ears as possible. And
so when does that one drop?
To be decided. Yeah. I got a few singles like the other ones that I'm probably gonna drop a few. I was planning on dropping that one first, like because I haven't dropped in so long. Just like drop that and just hit them with like this, like, oh, what the fuck, like he's been gone, and then hit him with that. But like I'm not at that stage where I can just drop and get it on that many ears. Like I'm still like I got fucking 1,500 followers, you know, like I can't, I don't have that effect yet. So I need to kind of get my name a little bit buzzing a little bit, just like back into this shit with slow singles, and then drop it hopefully
Well, you got to remember, each one of those 1,500. Imagine having 1,500 people standing in front of you.
It's true.
That's a lot of fucking people. And remember, each one of those people has a friend group.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're becoming relatable, and you're a very relatable person, like, but you also have that, you come from a weird background, right?
Yeah.
It's like an odd background.
Oh, yeah, it's different.
Yes, and your sound is, it is reminiscent of like superstars these days, but it has like your own sound to it. Like there's nuance that's completely separated from everything else that you're hearing today. Like I said to you when we were having a listen to the tracks, there was like, you know that how most English rappers do that accent, right?
Yeah.
It's that in like the smallest way.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking perfect for your sound.
It might, like, maybe, I don't even know, that you're the first person that said that to me, but maybe that's because of my time in England.
It may be.
Like, I still have that little, because I used to get it heaps when I moved back. Like, people would just be like,
are you English?
What the fuck are you saying? Like, why are you saying that? I'm like, fuck, like, I was living there, bro. Like, my bad. Like, you know, so it might still be in there somewhere. Like a little bits of flavor, which I think is cool, because I think to have that is just like, and that's not on me, that's just by like
circumstance.
Yeah, just going there and picking that up has allowed me now to be able to use that in music, which I think is super dope. And when I lived in Spain, obviously learning Spanish.
Wait, you know Spanish?
Yeah, I mean it's faded now.
Yeah,
I can speak it and understand it, but like,
call me an arsehole.
Maricon.
Hey, kind of sounds nice. Kind of sexy.
Yeah, it's definitely better than English, that's for sure.
Fuck. No, that's cool, man. I think like, because coming back to like your childhood and stuff, learning another language even kind of gives you another sense of culture. Yeah. Right. So even that is more diverse. Even once again. Yeah. So you being over there in Spain, you might. Well, we're sponges as humans, and especially when we're fucking young. Oh, yeah. You know? It kind of seems like you maybe have fucking soaked up a little bit of that Spanish.
Yeah, well, I did a bit, like one of my songs I did is called Ciroc. I got one of my homies who passed away from Spain. I met him there. Diddy D.
Rest in peace, Diddy D.
Yeah, rest in peace, Diddy. I spoke Spanish in like a part of the song, but it just fit so well because like I did my little thing, and you could tell I wasn't naturally speaking. Like you can tell I'm an English person. Oh, I think anyway. Maybe the outside looking in, it doesn't. But like I think, and then when Diddy comes on, because he's naturally Spanish, just sounded like so good, and it's so cool that I was able to do that because there's not many people in Perth or like even Australia in the rap scene that are just like, I know there's a few, like I think Babyface Mal, he speaks like French and stuff like that. There's a few guys who are like mixing it up, but I think that's dope. Just like chuck in some extra flavor, just to like, because if like a lot of us, even myself, like I get that American twang and that American like sort of accent when you do it, because that's what you listen to and that's who you're influenced by. If you can just chuck in, like, why not chuck in like some French or some, you know, another country, Spanish, whatever it may be, just to like add flavor. Why not?
That's a good point. It's almost like we're like, if the end of life is a cake, right? All throughout it, you get influence. Sorry,
no, it's cool.
I was drinking before this. All throughout life, you get different experiences, and you can think of those experiences like your ingredients to the cake. Yeah, right. And it depends on you how. It's like your parents, right? They're living a crazy lifestyle.
Their cake's going to be crazy.
Their cake's going to be delicious.
Mum and Dad's cake's crazy, bro. I want a cake like that.
Exactly, right? It's like full of experience. It's full of like all these different things, different cultures, and like just soaking up all the good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you're left like with when you look back on your life, you're not thinking about, I regret because I have regret, because I haven't done all this stuff. You're thinking about all the stuff you have done, you know, like, was my life fulfilled? Yeah. And, you know, like even coming from like just your young age, you're only 22. Yeah. You've had a pretty crazy life already, man. Yeah. And that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, it's just, and now I've just got to put that into the music. Like I just have to figure out, and I'm still figuring that out now. Like even, I've only just kind of stumbled across Blue Hills. And it's just like, I'm just trying, like, music is just like little commercials of your lifestyle. Yes. And like for a while, my commercial didn't really match my lifestyle.
Wait, say that again. It's a commercial of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's just like a, you know, because like,
it's like a snippet of like where you are, right?
Yeah, people aren't going to listen to like like for example, not every person is going to come and listen to this 1 hour podcast or however long it may be. But if they listen to 30 seconds of your song and you're actually talking about some shit that you care about, which is what I'm training myself to do, it's just like a little commercial for your lifestyle, and that's what I'm selling at the end of the day. I'm selling my lifestyle to these people in another form of, you know, music. I haven't thought of it like that. Yeah.
It literally is that.
Yeah.
It's, you're taking, you know, like you're almost compacting experience into like an audible, like situation where you can like sit there and like
exactly,
ponder on it.
They can buy into it or they can not, but that's music. And like for so long, I think I was like held up on this, like, oh, like people need to listen and people aren't listening. And, you know, like I was so...
Well, that's a trap.
Yeah, like, but that just came off from me being one, insecure in my own music and in myself and not fully believing in what I was doing. And like now it's just, you have to switch that and like, bro, who am I? Who cares? Like, you just have to do this shit because you love it. And once you start doing it because you love it, that's when people can see that. And I think my whole world and my whole mentality switched way out of that like negativity zone of just like caring about what people, you know, you just, oh, I don't care what they think, but like deep down you truly do. And I think now I'm so confident in what I'm doing, like it doesn't matter. I'm just happy just doing exactly what I'm doing now. For like, I was gonna drop Blue Hills just on SoundCloud, and a couple of my homies they were like, no, you got to drop it on Spotify, because like I just wasn't making it for anyone else to listen to.
Right.
It was just for me to get through that part of my life that I was trying to write about and get through, and I did that. And now I'm on the other side of it, and I said to one of the guys, I said like, that album will change my life. And he goes, oh, that's great that it might, but what happens if it doesn't? Like, what happened if it doesn't fall on the ears you want it to? And I just said, it's already changed my life. Like, my whole mental has changed. My mentality, the way that I think, the way that I write, the way I can write now is completely different. So everything that this album does is in the future is I don't care about any transactions. Like, it's done what it's needed for me mentally. And like, all the money I've got from that is already in my mind. I don't need dollars to come into my bank account from that. If people fuck with it, they fuck with it. If it gets 2 streams, it gets 2 streams. I'm not making it for you.
Yes.
And now I'm in a spot where I feel like I can truly do that, and it just feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that a lot of people gloss over very poorly, which is accepting how other people think about your, like, whatever art form it is.
Yeah.
Take music, for instance.
Yeah.
You basically, by saying what you just said, like, you weren't going to put it out on Spotify, you kind of, it's almost like painting like on a canvas and then lighting it on fire.
Yeah.
Right? By doing that. It's like, you want it for yourself. But I would take almost a step back and say it is still a part of Ghost Mac's journey that needs to be presented to other people, because there might be tracks on that, you know, playlist, on that album that resonate and that you wouldn't even think, you know, that would resonate with certain people. And we don't tend to want to show, or like, because you have taken what you needed to take from it, and you've grown in your own personal, like, you found merchandise in it. Yeah, right?
Exactly.
You've already found the wealth to it in yourself.
Yeah, it's done what it's needed to do for me.
Exactly. But what I was going to go with, like, that train of thought was, we really tend to pull back from that because we want the acceptance of other people. Yeah. And that's a primal thing, to be accepted by the tribe. Yeah. But there's that old adage, failing to prepare pretty much is preparing to fail. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And if you have already decided that you weren't going to put it out, or like on Spotify, or like you put it across multi-platforms, you know. But if you don't put it out on all of the platforms, you're kind of like reducing the chances
Massively.
of being accepted by not wanting to not be accepted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's facts.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you say that as well, because one of my close friends, Christian, he runs Amore Clo. Have you seen them? I've done quite a bit of work with them. Amore
Possibly.
Clothing. He just did that T2 runway.
AMORE? Amore?
No, so AMOR, Amore Clothing.
Maybe I have seen it.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's helped me out massively. What a brand and what a guy, bro. I love that guy as well. He's like one of the closest. He just thinks the same as us, and around here in such a small city, sometimes it's hard to find people that have that drive to want to be on a world stage and do all those things. And he's helped us out a lot. But he was listening to one of the tracks off Blue Hills, and he just I just made that song. It was so specific to one of my things. It's called Lost Souls, and he just he said, I've never resonated with a song that much before. And I was like, that's insane to me, because it's so specific to me, but it's like his number one song for he said he listens to because it's not out yet, he's just got the Google Drive, and he's just listening to it on repeat. And I was like, bro, you need to save some of the streams for when it drops on Spotify. I was like, he's like, yeah, I would have run it up at least 50 to 100 times already. And I'm like, damn. So it's that already has it's another thing. I'm like, yeah, I just have to get out of my own way.
That's all it is.
I just get out of my own way. A lot of the people or artists, so many guys are just so dope, and just but they just don't fully believe it. And I think that was the same as me when I was worried about dropping it. I just didn't fully believe in myself. Yeah. But now it's the complete opposite.
Yeah. Well, they say comparison is the root of all failure. That if you compare yourself to how you could be in the future, even, right, it's going to take away from what people can, let's say, resonate with now.
Facts.
Yeah. If you find, you'd be amazed at the amount of SoundCloud songs that in comparison to a Drake mix, they're fucking trash. Yeah. But people love them. Yeah. Because of how raw it is, how almost how early it is in their career. You know?
Well, look at X.
Exactly. Yes.
That was just bootleg, throw together, mixed on whatever it was mixed on. I don't even know if it was mixed. It was half mixed.
Yeah, mixed on an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, it's literally and he's R.I.P. to him, but look how big of an impact and how quick his come up was from that. It's just sometimes you can just do things the way you want them to be, and it doesn't have to be this proper thing. And it's just if it touches people, it's gonna touch people.
Well, that's the thing with all these companies like Sony and Universal and all these major companies, is those guys have bottom lines. They have they have to meet certain quotas and all that kind of stuff to make that money back. Yeah. So they have to kind of find the most rigid way to put out music. But independent artists don't have to do that. No. They don't have to adhere to the normal. No. And as soon as they do, you kind of see their creativity take a dive. Yeah. And when it does, man, it's almost dude, you're giving in to the beast, are you selling your soul? Dude, this dude's selling his soul. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you kind of don't want to do that, because the most freestanding people, that's the hero theory in movies and stuff. You think about the hero in every movie is the guy that goes through something and then overcomes it by himself.
Exactly, yeah. Overcomes that monster.
Exactly. And sometimes we put the monster in the mirror.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
And we kind of need to take a step back and be oh, no. I need to have empathy for everything that I see. And if you're looking in a mirror, it's for yourself as well.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's so true. Fuck.
Yeah, especially musically, man.
Yeah.
Because you're a very, very talented young man. And
thank you.
The way that I see it is if you're I'm not going to say trashing your old music or where you've been or the talent that you have grown from.
Yeah.
but that's kind of like in that moment, that was the capture of that, right?
Yeah, it was more so like not so much trashing. It was more just like
that was a poor use of words.
No, I know what you mean though, because like it was kind of like I was putting it to the side when you like in a way SoundCloud, not you're trashing it, but it's like look over here, my Spotify's here, don't look there kind of thing.
yeah.
And it's like it was more just like it was so personal to me that I didn't really think too much of it. So I was just like, I'm just going to put it on SoundCloud because this is me. It's in the moment. Boom. But after doing a few songs and like the things that I've been able to say on it, like you said, it might resonate with 1 or 2 or 300,000 people. It might be one. Yeah. I just have to do it and just put it out there. You never know. But I feel like once you do that and you let go and it's done everything it has for you, that's when the universe sort of kicks back and goes, oh, there's no sort of like ill intent behind this, like this project. There's no like, let me put this really wholesome project out that's from my heart, but everybody stream it up and everybody like, let's get this shit running to 100,000 streams and like, nah, like there'll be a little bit of that when the album drops because I've put 2 years into the album.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, like if it's there, go listen to it. If you don't. That's what the SoundCloud sort of thing was. Like if you want to find it, that's Banjo, that's me, that's Ghost. If you don't, go to my other stuff. It is what it is, but it's gonna come out and it's I think it's gonna shake shit a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially for Perth.
Yeah,
we have quite a small dynamic in Perth, but like you said earlier on, like there are a lot of people that are incorporating certain things that are really taking to in Perth.
Yeah, it's dope. The scene is so exciting to see, like just like Australia in general as well, just kind of popping out with a lot more, just competing. Just actually we're not in the conversation yet because like America's America and they're just always going to be America, but like we're getting guys out there now, like you've seen guys from like Mason Dane just like T-Pain link up, like that stuff hasn't been happening from anyone in Perth.
No.
And like just like a lot of the Perth guys running it up over east and like just stuff, the big streams and stuff like that is so cool to see. And it's just like it makes me just like want to be a part of it. Like if people are looking at that and kind of like shining bad light on it, it's just like, bro, like people,
they're just jealous.
Yeah, it's just even with Leroy, like people give Leroy shit and it's just like, I liked Leroy at the start. Like I was following him when he had 3K followers.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like I was just like, used to think this kid was crazy. I wasn't even rapping then. And then like now I don't really resonate too much with his music because it's like all pop sort of stuff. Yeah. But like what he has done, the door he has opened to it, like for the rest of the artists in Australia, in America, is he's normalized being a kid from Australia to make it in America, which no one has ever done from Australia.
And Aboriginal.
Exactly. Even more. Like on that level is insane. Like in the rap game I'm talking about, like hip hop rap, he went into that as a hip hop rap. He might be a pop star, whatever you want to say now, but like he opened that initial door, which is why I think there's a lot more of these cats from Perth, Australia, going over and doing that stuff, like singing, being like doing all this crazy shit. Like Leroy opened that door
for sure.
At the end of the day, like
even when he was in Esher.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest part of it because when he first went over, he was just like doing hard little raps, and he was this little Esher kid from Western Sydney, and now he's just like a megastar. But like that's what really like. It's
crazy what fame can do, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
Did you go to his show?
I did. I mean, I didn't buy any tickets. My mum got me some tickets for Christmas. I wasn't like too keen. She was like trying to get them for my little brother. And she was like, oh, like, what do you think about Leroy? I was like, yeah. Like, I was like, fuck that. I'm not going, like, blah, blah. Not because I wasn't supporting, but I just, like, I wasn't going to, there's a few songs of his earlier stuff, but I knew he wasn't going to play any of that. So it's just like, I'm like, it would be cool to see, but don't spend that much money on me. I'm happy, I'm chilling. Just get it for my little brother. And then she'd already bought the tickets. No. So on Christmas Day, she's like, I know you don't want to. I was like, whatever. It was cool though. He was a crazy performer, insane performer. Yeah,
he's had a lot of like when he first did that first song with Justin Bieber. What was it called?
Stay.
Yes, Stay. Yeah. When they did Stay, he toured with Justin Bieber, and he obviously got a fuck ton of training, right?
Yeah.
Like just learning how like to have stage presence.
Insane.
Yeah.
That was one thing I thought was super dope just to pick up, was just like, damn, this kid's like, you could tell how like music just in him, because like the way he just was like running around the stage was just like, it's dope.
Yeah.
And like I might not be sitting there singing the lyrics to this pop song, but like I'm an artist as well, and just like watching him and seeing how he performs, like whether he's younger or older than me, it's still like, just do your shit, bro. Like like being from Australia, like poor suburbs, whatever has been said or whatever, like it's just sick to see. And it's sick to see way more shit happening like that on a smaller scale, but to so much more other Australian artists. And because that only opens a door for me more. Like why would I be mad at that?
Yeah, it's a good point.
If you believe in yourself, bro.
What do you think about the whole manager thing? Do you know anything about that?
His manager?
Yeah, about Ziggy.
The sus shit?
Yeah.
But like, I mean,
if you get an offer from Scooter Braun, like you're gonna fucking take it, are you?
Yeah. Even like going back to the shit when he first, like he had like another manager in Adelaide and shit like that, but like, and everyone's trying, like people were painting him out as this villain for like switching up and stuff, and I was like, bro, he just turned 18. Like, do you think he was calling shots?
No.
He had his mum with him every step of the way. Like this kid was being groomed by the industry.
Yeah, true.
Like he didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like he would have just, yep, you do this, you're doing this, you're signing this. Do you want to sign this? Too bad. Like he's just a kid in the industry who's being pushed, and like it is what it is, you know, that's the industry.
There's something too growing up around music though, right?
Yeah.
There is
Massively.
something to it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really have a musical family. I was kind of like the odd one out.
Yeah, okay.
That's interesting.
But it still found you.
Yeah, well, I used it as a means to get through hard times.
Okay, yeah.
And like, man, I was fucking bullied like crazy through high school. I think a lot of us were.
Yeah.
And it was just easier to not have to talk about it, and it was easier just to like pump it out through music. I learned guitar and sat in my room for fucking hours on hours every day.
Yeah.
And man, like, it was almost like a meditation. You know? Like when you're in it, you know, you're in a bit of a flow state. You're not worried about fucking anything else.
It so is, bro. Like when I was overseas, I got homesick like bad. I was like in a relationship and everything as well, and it's just like a young kid.
You had to leave that relationship there?
No, we held it down the whole time.
Nice.
Yeah, shout out to the girl Maddie.
Shout out Maddie.
Yeah, we held, like, ever since I left, up until I got back. Yeah, we stayed together. But it's just like music was like, if I didn't have that, I think because I never really listened too much to music, but during that stage of like missing home and being homesick and stuff, that's when I started listening really heavily to music, and at full, just like, I don't know, just like after that I was like so just into it. I was just like in love with it. Like every day I just like music. Every time I wasn't around someone, I was listening to music of some sort.
My thought on it, and this is going to sound wild, you ever done mushrooms?
No.
Oh, okay.
Have
you done any psychedelics?
I have.
Yeah?
I've dabbled.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've come from that, you know, like that soccer, you're trying to be an athlete sort of thing. So I'm kind of like, yeah. But every year that I'm a rapper, it's fading away, that lifestyle.
Well, where I was going with that is everything when you're on, like, say, let's take mushrooms, you feel the presence of like something higher, like a creative kind of, like a creator, right?
Yeah.
There's a presence of like God, right?
Yeah, facts.
And when you're deep in, say if you're feeling sad, right, and you feel like nothing can bring you out of it in that moment, and you listen to a sad song, right, it encompasses so much of your feelings, right, that it can make you either feel more of it or express it in some sort of way, like express how you're feeling in a more kind of eclectic way, right? Because you're consuming, but you're also reflecting at the same time.
Yeah.
When you're happy, and there's high vibrations. Like music is a set of vibrations and frequencies that come at you so fast that you don't hear it as that, you hear it as music. But if you're listening to it in like headphones or really loud speakers, like a nice soothing fucking like song, God damn, get
Get them out, bro.
like a nice soothing song can be it can lift your spirits.
Yeah,
It
massive.
can bring you into a new kind of like thought frequency. It can almost like change like yourself, like
Yeah.
how you're thinking about things.
Yeah.
And that there is the presence of higher vibration. And like when you're on mushrooms, like if you're having a bad trip, like the best thing to do is put on music. Or I have a tongue drum. Do you know what they are?
No.
A tongue drum is like those circular things, and it's got like a series of like tongues cut out of it, and you go dung 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 dung.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, when like if you're doing an ayahuasca ceremony,
Damn.
there is something that called an eco rose,
Yeah.
and an eco rose is an instrument, well, a set of drums and bells that they play all together to create these eco rows, and that pulls you into like a state of recovery
Yeah. Okay.
while you're in the ceremony.
Yeah.
And the same thing is apparent with mushrooms.
Damn.
When you're on a mushroom trip and you go into like a negative frequency, like you're thinking about all the bad, or like reflecting of like being in a bad trip where you think you're never going to get out of it, the best way to calm down the whole of your consciousness at that moment is to play frequencies that bring you up.
Okay. Yeah. Play good music.
Yeah, good music. That's all
Good
it is.
music.
It's just hitting higher tones. And when you have a song that you really, really resonate with, man, like that can fucking make your day. Like you're driving home and that fucking one song comes on, you're like, fucking.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That one song that hasn't come on like the shuffle.
Yeah.
And it just hits, and it's just like it changes your whole mood.
It does, man.
Yeah.
It
It's
does.
insane.
It's kind of how I thought about Freak when we
Yeah.
first played Freak.
Damn.
Because I was like, you know, like,
Yeah.
what's the vibe for tonight? And then you played that shit, and I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
And I was just fucking
Vibing.
oh, bro,
Yeah.
so good. And the beat, man,
Yeah.
the beat is fire for
It's
that.
catchy, hey. It's a little bouncy beat. Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes hard live. I only performed it, I think, once or twice live,
Yeah.
but both times people were just
Well, it's
vibing.
almost like a club track, right?
Yeah, it's got that club bounce.
Yeah, like I said, it
sure.
could be played in fucking Bali at like, you know, like a beach fucking villa and just fucking vibing out. Right?
Yeah,
It'd be killer.
yeah,
It'd be killer. Well, dude, this conversation's been awesome.
yeah. I'm loving it, bro.
This has been fucking
good.
fire. Is there anything you want to cover?
What time are we on?
It's 8:15. So
We're going on like
hour and
an hour.
15. Yeah.
If you got, I'm happy to keep going, bro. Like if the
Well, yeah, if you want to, we'll go for another 15. We'll go for another
whatever, bro. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you got a time to cut, they usually do it at that. That's cool, but
Yeah, well, I'd normally go for like, well, the ones recently have been like an hour and 30.
yeah,
So
let's run it.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep going, yeah.
With your like your current writing style,
Yeah.
who's that influenced by right now? Because those tracks don't sound like remotely similar to the last tracks that you showed me before.
Yeah.
Is it just going off of like?
I guess Russ is like is my biggest inspiration.
Right,
Um,
English dude.
No, American.
Is he American?
From Atlanta, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not Russ Millions. That's it. Like, yeah, different
Oh,
one.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
No,
elsewhere.
so yeah, he's been like just like massively influential into like my whole music, like how I do things, how I work. Just like, yeah, I like a lot of his writing stuff he's independent, and it's just like it's just like a belief system. It's a very like, it's mentality raps. And that's, as well as like, obviously you got your pop songs, blah, 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 your hits and stuff, but like, it's all coming from the same place. It's all coming from like a message, and like, I really look at that stuff and I try to break down how he does things and then mix it with like another person that I like. But like all my music is so different that I listen to. Like I'll be listening to Russ, and then like I've got like, doing like Xavier Rudd, John Butler,
Nice.
like hell stuff like that, and then like my dad's music. And
You still listen to your dad's music?
yeah, I still listen to dad's music.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's just like just like it's such a massive range. And then I've got like a bunch of mum's music, like she go from like Chili Peppers to like Black Eyed Peas, like just like random stuff. It's just like, and so I just try to take in from everything. I think like some writing stuff I take from like the folk, like John Butler's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just like try to take that side of it and then mix it with like the rap and then like try to break it down that way and just do different things like that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like Russ is again, like he's resonates with me just because he's talking about a lot of the stuff like power of the mind, manifestation and stuff like that. And I've always been my mum's always been into that, like Deepak Chopra, The Alchemist, like Paulo Coelho, all those sorts of books. I've always had that stuff sort of like ingrained into me since I was young. Like mum would teach me about manifestation since I was like 8 years old. Like I can remember her telling me like she used to have this vision board in her room and just like full like stuff like that. And like I can relate to that because I've always moved off that sort of frequency. Like I've always thought that was how you did things. And like I feel like a lot of my, like ever since I was conscious enough to think about it, I was trying to like manifest. I said to myself, I want to be playing for an academy in England or Europe. And I did those things when I was 16. And I think a lot of that is obviously work hard, but like the power of the mind and like just being confident in yourself. Like I was like that kid at 6 years old running around playing soccer, like so confident, but like I wasn't confident and like I didn't think I was better than anyone. Like it wasn't coming from a place of like superiority.
Yeah, you just had the vision in your
head.
head.
It was just like I'm confident in doing what I'm doing and I know that like that's going to bring me success. I wasn't trying to be confident because of the success. It was just like I know what I'm doing. And even then that was from a young kid. And I was talking to Deezy the other day. I was like, bro, like we were just talking a little bit about music and like the stop startiness and writer's block and all that sort of stuff. And I said like it's taken me up until now, I'm 22. Like I've been manifesting stuff since I was 12 years old, like properly thinking about it. And it's only taken me till now. Like maybe I was doing it for a different, like maybe I was talking about playing in arenas for soccer and stuff like that and trying to train my mind, but now it's only just crossed over and I've sort of like started seeing the rewards of that, like physically and feeling it mentally.
Yeah.
Because it takes a long time and it's so hard to fully train your mind to want something and then let it go fully. But when you do that, that's the key. And when you just tap into like pure potentiality of yourself, like the success, just like not even success, but just good things come with that. Like the winning is just natural after that.
So as a product of you being a football player, do you have like a regimented workout schedule? Do you still do cardio and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I'm in the gym every day.
Oh, perfect.
Pretty much. I'll have like 2 days a week, maybe rest days.
Right. Because the reason as to why I ask this is because a lot of people aren't creative when they're sad, right? And I find people that aren't moving their bodies too much when they don't really have physical exertion, they tend to like become slobs, right?
Yeah.
And that just leads to like a non-creative lifestyle.
No, I have to. I just it makes me feel so much better. Like I'll try to finish work and then straight to the gym because I feel like after the gym then I can full just like create.
Yes.
But if I feel like I haven't done that part of me, like because that's been a part of my lifestyle since I was so young, to train or be fit or whatever, like I feel like if I'm not doing that, I'm kind of just like but like that's always been a part of me, so I'm always gonna do that. But all the boys, all the guys in 400 like the collective, all of us hell into that. We love training and stuff like that as well as
good.
rapping and stuff. Yeah,
keep the mindset going.
Yeah. Everyone's
100%.
working hard.
That's good. You got to work hard on your body as hard as you work on your craft. Man.
Facts. Yeah.
If you're not working on, like I tend to look at it like a leaky battery, right? If you store up energy all day, right, and let's take a car battery for instance. You constantly like are using that battery, but just little bits, just tiny little bits. Eventually that battery gets overpowered and it starts leaking at the terminals and it needs to be drained.
Yeah.
You don't want to operate with a leaky battery, right? You want to operate with a drained battery.
Yeah.
Just so you can fill that up again, with all the energy that you're putting in there for your music and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You don't want to overfill that bitch. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's important. You've got to just try to find balance.
For sure.
Yeah.
Have you heard of transmutation?
Transmutation? No.
So there's in the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Also found out.
I've got that. I need to read that.
Found out about that dude. He was a con artist.
Oh yeah, he was apparently and also he was like an asshole.
Yeah, like the biggest asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, like just like full asshole.
Yeah, apparently he didn't do half the things that he said he did in that book, but
really,
yeah.
Damn.
Nonetheless, as a
I haven't finished it yet, so I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that for now.
Look, even as a fictional novel, there
Facts.
are really, really good points that you can take away. Like one being visualization of like your goals. You need that. Visualization of he used to. I think it's in like one of the last chapters. He would close his eyes, and he'd visualize all of the dead people, or even live people that like his committee almost of influences.
Yeah.
And he would talk to like Theodore Roosevelt and stuff like with his eyes closed, but Theodore Roosevelt I don't think was alive then. I could be killing that. That could be not false information.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He took value from like being around these people in his mind.
Yeah.
Now transmutation of energy is one thing that that struck me just when you said your changeover from soccer to music was a little bit like rocky. You know?
It was way rocky.
Yeah, you needed something to put your energy into.
Yeah.
Well, transmutation of energy is literally looking at yourself as a being of energy, and you are constantly have input and you constantly have output, and what you are outputting your energy into comes from a series of habits. And when you don't have those habits to do anymore, you kind of lost, right? You kind of need to rehabituate yourself into doing certain things, like instead of I got to kick the ball this way, or drills in soccer, you've got to drill it in like the digital audio workspace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it kind of it's the transmutation. So you're doing something different, but the same amount of output.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of it's an interesting way to think about.
That's in the book? That's in Napoleon?
That's in the book as well, yeah.
I haven't read that part yet, but
his transmutation's a little bit weird because he goes sex energy. He talks about not jerking off, and then that'll give you more. Well, there's something to that actually, though, because like when you don't jerk off, you're not putting like your mind into like pornography, and you're almost giving into desire.
Yeah.
Right? And like not all desires are the best desires to have.
Yeah.
Like a desire for a good, solid music career. Yes, good. A desire to have a fulfilling relationship. Yes, good.
Yeah.
Desire to watch somebody have sex on a small screen. Nah. Probably not so good.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm off that, bro. I'm just, I don't know. Women and even just like, I'm just focusing on music. Just everything's music,
Nice.
Try not to get caught up.
It's there's a lot of things you can get caught up these days, man.
Yeah, but it's
kind of seems like you have that fucking, that mental discipline though. Like,
I think that comes from sport. And I think that, I think sports definitely helped me. Well, I was having that conversation with some of the guys today. Like, it was just like, oh, like, I need to like work on my discipline and stuff. And I said, I think like, if you just treat like your mind and body are two different, like they're teammates, like your teammates don't let each other down.
Yeah.
So like, you're always gonna just use that theory of like they're teammates. So just keep like, either if your body's feeling lazy or your mind's feeling lazy, just kick into gear for like both of them, and like you're gonna be all right. You know what I mean?
It's the realization that the mind is, it's one of the same, one and the same as the body. It's not two different things. It's not like I'll do this for the mind, but it's not going to have complications for the body.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people like take like dexamphetamine just so they have a sharp mind.
Yeah.
But then their body's trash for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck are you doing with your life?
There's no point.
Yeah. Dude, we better wrap this shit up. I need
Yeah.
a piss.
Nah, bro. This has been sick.
Yeah, it's been great, man.
Thank you.
It's been thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. It's been a good chat. I just wanted to say thank you to whoever's watching this from my side and supporting all the guys. I didn't mention a lot of people who have been supporting me, but they
You
know
can do a
who
shout
they are.
out if you want.
Shout out.
You're like, oh, fuck.
Shout out Caleb 400, shout out DZ 400, all my family, my brothers, all the people that keep coming to shows, even though I haven't released music in 2 years, still coming. But yeah, I just want to say thanks, and the support's been crazy, and thank you for even showing love, bro. It means the most.
Dude, well, this conversation's been fucking covered a lot of topics, bro.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to do it again.
No, we'll do it again for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. After your album drops, we'll do it.
Oh yeah, let's run it.
Come on. And
It'll be a very different conversation, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll play a couple of tracks, and I think it'll be in the new studio as well. So
yes, sir.
Fuck yes.
Run that.
How can people get in touch with you, man?
Instagram, GhostMac 400, Spotify, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the hell you fucking want to talk to me on.
Perfect.
Send me a message because no one else is.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Roadshow. You know the drill. I don't ask for anything other than a like, share, and a subscribe.
Hit that shit.
Yeah, hit that shit. I have been Jacob Rhodes. Good evening. Have a great night. Take care of yourself.
Good night.
Take me home, I wanna know if you're down.